All right, good morning. And laissez le bon temps rouler. It is Mardi Gras in Louisiana. I'm Darlene Barnhill, and I'll be your hostess today. And we're going to be celebrating Mardi Gras and preparing ourselves to go into the Lenten season in this next week. Next week is Ash Wednesday. So, do we have any first-time guests, attendees? I didn't see anybody come in that I did not recognize, but I was all over the place, so I may not have recognized you. Is there anyone here new? Okay, good. Let's look at some birthdays and some anniversaries. I think we had given most of the anniversaries last time, but we'll repeat some of them. It won't matter. Ed and Nell Carpenter celebrated their 58th wedding anniversary on February the 8th. Charles and Barbara Varnell celebrated their 62nd wedding anniversary on February the 12th. Larry and Ruby Little celebrated 62 years on February the 19th. Don and Pam Valerie celebrated 57 years on February the 20th. And Johnny and Judy Thomas will celebrate 56 years on February the 25th. So, in this day and time, I think that's just a huge accomplishment. So congratulations to all of them. Birthdays, today is Felicia Cockrell's birthday. Wanda Bennett has one on the 26th. Jane Sailors has one on the 27th. Larry Grice has one on March the 3rd. Nancy Sipe, the 2nd? Oh, okay. And Nancy Sipe has one on March the 3rd. Margaret Eden's birthday is on March the 8th. So we'll be celebrating all of those before we meet again. So if we will start, I don't see anybody in the air. Oh, Kirsten, will you lead us in happy birthday, please? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friends. Happy birthday to you. You notice I moved away from this. I don't want anybody to hear me doing that. Okay. Our concerns today on the hospital list, we only had 2 people, and I know there's some others, and we'll go over those. But Diane Muncie Nelms has been sent home. She's not doing well. She's on home hospice. She was at rehab at Cypress Point, but they moved her home. Bess Myers is at Old Brownlee Care Center. Our prayer list from our thing on Sunday is here. If there are any of these that need to be added, these are the same ones. We want to remember the Loy Moore family and while they're grieving the loss of Loy Moore. Is there anyone else? The other prayer request I have here is for Lois Lassiter. She's having knee surgery tomorrow, just a day surgery, repairing the meniscus. But we want to remember her in prayer. Anyone else that I don't know about? Those were the ones that I had information on. Who? Kay Dietzel, yes. And she's through. It looks like she's got 2 more chemos to do, but she's through with the radiation. And we're certainly thankful for that she's through with that. And she's got such a good attitude, about it all. So, of course, she knows the one upstairs. She knows the Lord, and she knows she's in His hands. So, just continue to pray for them. Let's look at our church activities that we have going on. And, of course, in the next week, there's going to be lots of stuff happening because we're celebrating Mardi Gras and coming up to Ash Wednesday, Shrove Tuesday. All of that's a big thing. So, let me make sure I tried to list all this. Shrove Tuesday, we'll be having a pancake supper at 5:30. That's March 1st. That's on Tuesday. Lenten luncheons will begin on Tuesdays after Ash Wednesday, so it'll be that first week in March. I think it's March the 8th or something like that. Those are at 11:45. Mark will be doing a series called A Jesus-Shaped Life. You can order those books through the office, and they're $14. If you want to keep up with that. And Mark is encouraging us to maybe start some small groups to study that before he presents on Tuesday at the Lenten Luncheons. For those of you who have never taken part in the Lenten Luncheons, because we haven't done them in the last couple of years, they're really a great time for us to get together during Lent and to remember what Lent's all about and what we're doing this for, and getting ourselves disciplined and more geared toward the Lord and what he wants for us to do. So just remember that on starting at there'll be 11:45. In Sunday school classes, we rotate who fixes lunch that day. So it's really kind of interesting to see what class does what, and that sort of thing. There's a little bit of news I took from the tidings on the prayer room. The time of Advent called our attention to hope, peace, joy, and love. May these 4 attributes go with all of us into and through the year of 2022. May our prayers be filled with renewed faith and expectancy, adding more fullness to our everyday lives and our prayer time as well. Also, may these feelings challenge us to share the light of Christ with others. And they used Romans 12:12 through 13. Be joyful in hope, patient in affection, faithful in prayer, share with the Lord's people who are in need. And I think our church is very in tune to that in a lot of ways. We have a mission, quite a mission group. The other thing I wanted to bring out to you, starting on April the 20th, is we're going to have a ladies' Bible, noontime Bible study. And this is something Lois has been wanting to do, and it was on her heart to do this. This will be after Easter, and where women will meet at noontime up here. Bring your lunch, bring your sandwich, or whatever, and we'll have time together, fellowship, and read the Bible, do a little Bible study. So if that's something you're interested in, let's do that, okay? The next thing is our next Young at Heart meeting will be on, is on March the 10th, and Rosemary Patterson will be our hostess. And I think Sione is going to be the speaker on that day. I think he's going to bring us an update on Tonga. So that'll be kind of interesting. Okay, so we'll wait for Geneva to bring me the list of people for us to draw we got some door prizes and stuff, but what I have prepared is to give us a little bit of history. Here she comes. Give a little bit of history of Mardi Gras and where it began. And reading all of this, we all know about Mardi Gras and we know what it is, but knowing where it came from and how long it's been that this has been celebrated is really kind of amazing, to know how long it's been celebrated. Okay, here she is. I'll give out some door prizes. Thank you. Do you need me to stay and help? No, ma'am. Yeah, you can if you want to. Okay. I had a number 5, and that is Kirsten Wepley. Kirsten Wepley. I never say her name right. Number 8, Charles Varnell. Number 12, Judy Mayhew. I know she came in here. Oh, there she is. Okay. Number 21, Kim Glass. Number 27, Kathy Moore. Number 35 is Joyce Baca. And our last one,
she's over on the other side.
Is number 39, Miriam McDaniel.
She's in the back.
Okay, she gets that. This came from Ellis Pottery. Tony was sweet enough to go and get something to give today, so. Okay. Geneva, do you need this list back, or do I need to give it to Lisa? So, the origins of Mardi Gras can be traced back to medieval Europe, passing through Rome and Venice in the 17th and 18th centuries to the French house of the Bourbons. From here, the traditional revelry of Beau Gras, or fatted calf, followed France to her colonies. On March the 2nd, 1699, French-Canadian explorer Jean-Baptiste Le Moyne Sieur de Bienville arrived at a plot of ground 60 miles directly south of New Orleans and named it Pointe du Mardi Gras. When his men realized it was the eve of the festive holiday, Bienville also established Fort Louis de la Louisiane, which is now Mobile, Alabama, in 1702. In 1703, the tiny settlement of Fort Louis de la Mobile celebrated America's very first Mardi Gras. So it was not in New Orleans. I mean, New Orleans would like to tell you it was them, but it was not. It was Mobile. In 1704, Mobile established a secret society called the Masque de la Mobile, similar to those that form our current Mardi Gras cruise. It lasted until 1709. In 1710, the Beau Gras Society was formed and paraded from 1811 through 1861. The procession was held with a huge bull's head pushed along on wheels by 16 men. Later, Rex would parade with an actual bull draped in white and signaling the coming of Lent meat fast. This occurred on Fat Tuesday. New Orleans was established in 1718 by Bienville. By the 1730s, Mardi Gras was celebrated openly in New Orleans, but not with the parades that we know today. In the early 1740s, Louisiana's governor, the Marquis de Vaudreuil, established elegant society balls, which became the model for the New Orleans Mardi Gras balls of today. So that's how that didn't start until the 1730s. The earliest reference to Mardi Gras, Carnival, appears in a 1781 report to the Spanish colonial governing body. That year, the Perseverance Benevolent and Mutual Aid Association was the first of hundreds of clubs and carnival organizations formed in New Orleans. By the late 1830s, New Orleans held street processions of maskers with carriages and horseback riders to celebrate Mardi Gras. Dazzling gas-like torches or flambeaux lit the way for the cruise members and lent each event an exciting air of romance and festivity. In 1856, 6 young Mobile natives formed the Mystique Crew of Comus, which invoked John Milton's hero, Comus, to represent their organization. Comus brought magic and mystery to New Orleans with dazzling floats known as tableaux, cars, and masked balls. Crew members remained anonymous, as they still do today. In 1870, Mardi Gras' second crew, the 12th Night Revelers, was formed. This is also the first recorded account of Mardi Gras throws. So all these beads and stuff that you see at Mardi Gras time were always thrown. I mean, for 100 years, they had parades and stuff without throws. Somebody else, just like man, we add something else to it to make it more exciting, we think, or worth more to go to, you get something. Newspapers began to announce Mardi Gras events in advance, and they even printed Carnival edition lithographs of parades, fantastic float designs, after they rolled, of course. Themes and floats were always carefully guarded before the procession. At first, these reproductions were small, and details could not be easily seen. But beginning in 1886, with Protus Parade, Visions of Other Worlds, these chromolithographs could be produced in full saturated color, doing justice to the float and costume designs of Carlotta Bonacos, Charles Britton, and B.A. Wilkstrom. Each of these designers' work was brought to life by a talented Parisian paper mache artist by the name of Georges Soleil. who for 40 years was responsible for creating all the carnival's floats and processional outfits. Now, I don't know how much you know about the Mardi Gras cruise here, but I was in Centaur for quite a while when my kids were younger. All these crews here produce all their own floats. They make them from the ground up. They do them all themselves. So the New Orleans crews were more into the paper mache from the Parisian Soleil, and now I think they even do their own now, since he's no longer a part of that. 1872 was the year that a group of businessmen invented the King of Carnival, Rex, to preside over the first daytime parade. Up until that point, all the parades in New Orleans were at night. To honor the visiting Russian Grand Duke Alexis Romanov, the businessmen introduced Romanov's family colors of purple, green, and gold as Carnival's official colors. Purple stands for justice, gold for power, and green for faith. This was also the Mardi Gras season that Carnival's improbable anthem, If Ever I Cease to Love, was cemented, due in part to the Duke's fondness for the tune. The following year, floats began to be constructed entirely in New Orleans instead of France, culminating with Comus Magnificent, the missing links to Darwin's Origin of Species, in which exotic papier-mâché animal costumes served as the basis for Comus to mock both Darwin's theory and local officials, including Governor Henry Warmoth. In 1875, Governor Warmoth signed the Mardi Gras Act, making Fat Tuesday a legal holiday in Louisiana, which it still is. And up here in North Louisiana, we usually don't take the day off, but they do in South Louisiana. It is a holiday. Like Comus and Twelfth Night revelers, most Mardi Gras crews today developed from private social clubs with restrictive membership policies. Since all of these parade organizations are completely funded by the members, New Orleans call it the greatest free show on earth. And they work on it all year. I mean, it's something that's so. We celebrate all of this, but it has some beginnings in religious realms. So I pulled some of that up too, because that's kind of interesting. Because I had always been told as a child that the 40 days of Lent, which this is man's thing too, you know, Jesus spent 40 days in the desert. Weekends, he didn't take Saturdays and Sundays off. We do. The 40 days is only the 5 weekdays. They count those 5 weekdays, and not the weekends. That tells you something about South Louisiana right there. In Christian cultures, Mardi Gras, also known as Carnival and Shrove Tuesday, is the last day before the beginning of Lent, a period of fasting and repentance leading up to Easter. The date of Mardi Gras is 41 days before Easter Sunday, whose date varies from year to year. It is followed by Ash Wednesday when Lent begins. What doesn't change, that Lent time changes, what doesn't change is Epiphany. It is always 12 days after Christmas, it's always on January the 6th, and then everything else falls behind that. Historically, Mardi Gras is the day for eating up the last of the rich foods that remain in the house and for having a big celebration before a long period of discipline and repentance. Today, less people observe Lent, but more than ever celebrate Mardi Gras, attracted by its joyful party atmosphere, music, food, and parades. Today, the celebration of Mardi Gras or Carnival has very little to do with religion. Although found primarily in Roman Catholic areas and based on the tradition of Shrove Tuesday, Carnival is now characterized by raucous celebrations and merrymaking to an excess that the church frowns upon it. Traditionally, rich foods such as eggs, meat, oils, and butter were strictly prohibited during the 40 days of Lent. It thus became customary to eat all that remained of these foods in the house and enjoy one last feast on the day before the 40-day fast. One of the most well-known names for this day, Mardi Gras, French for Fat Tuesday, reflects the tradition of enjoying rich foods on this day. And Mary Lou had told us a little bit about Shrove Tuesday and also included that when she was the last time we all met. Another common holiday for the name for the holiday is Carnival may also refer to its last enjoyment of rich foods. Some believe it derives from the medieval Latin carnum levra or carnivalarium, which means to take away or remove meat. The name Shrove Tuesday derives from the practice of shriving, or the confession and absolution of sin that takes place on that day. As with many Christian holidays, the celebrations of Carnival and Mardi Gras were probably adapted in some way from pagan festivals. And that was something I did not know. In earlier times, Rome was the place to be for Carnival. Was Rome not the place for everything at that time? As its celebrations were unsurpassed in splendor, the Rome Carnival played a major role in the development of dance, theater, and music. Today, the most famous Carnival celebrations take place in New Orleans, Rio de Janeiro, and Venice, which include masked balls, elaborate costumes, parades, and many other festivities. Carnival celebrations vary in their length and nature throughout the world. In Munich and Bavaria, where Carnival is known as Fastnacht or Fasching, it begins on Epiphany, January the 6th, but in Cologne and the Rhineland, it begins on November the 11th. In France, it is celebrated only on the day before Ash Wednesday, so only on Mardi Gras, only on Fat Tuesday. The New Orleans Mardi Gras celebration begins on Epiphany and ends on Shrove Tuesday, which is what we're most familiar with. So anyway, that was just a little bit about Mardi Gras. So let me explain my little Mardi Gras bead. It's a little pig. And this is just to represent my family. We do a cochon de lait every year, which is like a pig roast. But every year, the Saturday before Fat Tuesday, we do a boucherie at my uncle's house, and he keeps it. Well, his children are now doing it. Our age group is kind of trying to teach the younger group what to do and how to do it. But we make boudin and cut cracklings, and we have backbone and rice, and all the family and friends come from all over to join in that celebration. And it's kind of like a family reunion. We get to see everybody. And I haven't gotten to go for the last 2 years because of COVID. So I told them I was not sick this year. I was vaccinated, and I was boosted, and I was coming so I could get some of that French food that I miss that we don't always get up here. But we'll have 3 or 4 of those big black wash pots, what y'all call those big pots, full of cracklings, and we'll have, people manning those to cook them, and we spread them out. We have a big table that we throw brown paper on, and then we just spread them out and salt them. And then you bring your bag and you put your cracklings that you're going to take home with you. By the time the day is through, there's not anything left. I mean, it's all, everybody wants to take a bag home. And we've learned through the years, you put them in your freezer and they stay fresh longer. So you just eat a few and kind of save them and throughout the, for a few months to have them. So anyway, that was the reason why I have the pig thing. Well, when I say, I don't. Cracklings, they take the parts of the pig, that like the stomach and the skin part, and we cut it. And it's always a big fight over who's going to get to cut, because there's certain people we don't want to cut because they cut them too big. We like them smaller. So you cut that up and we put them in that big black pot with a little bit of water in them, and you start cooking them over a fire. Now, we have burners. We used to have an open fire. We don't do that anymore. We have burners now. And that's time for us to say the Lord's Prayer. Let's bow our heads. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Okay, anyway, so you cook them. That water helps to break it down. And you cook them. They know there's a certain color of smoke that comes off the fire, the cracklings. And they know it's time to take them out. We recook them then. We take them out and let them just kind of cool, and then put them back in. Then they come out real, real crisp. And that's how we like them. We throw salt on them. Some people like vinegar, salt, and pepper with them. I just like them just plain like that. But when my family makes boudin, it's not just strictly the blood boudin, which is what most people think. We make both kinds. We make red and white, because not all people want the red. And they start that. I won't even be down there in time for that, because they start that about 5 o'clock in the morning, making all of that. And I don't ever I can't get down there that early when I'm driving from up here. But we cook. It's just food. It's king cake, and it's hog has cheese, and I mean everything that I grew up on. It's and it's just laid out, and everybody eats all day long, and it's just a fun time for family. You catch up with everybody. I have cousins that come that I only see that time of the year, that one time of the year. So I'm sure you have family traditions too. That mine just happens to be wrapped up with all of this, with Mardi Gras and all of this, because of where I'm from. I didn't hear that. What? Hey, my aunt and uncle would love it. The more the merrier. We usually meet in a little place called Vic, Louisiana. It's down, it's between Marksville and Alexandria, and it's just a little farming community. We only have one post office, and it's in Effie that serves all that area, Center Point, Vic, Effie. These are just little farming communities, and it's still like that. It's still just farming communities. It's never developed into more than that. It's where farmers are. I mean, my uncle was a cattleman, and a farmer and a cattleman, and he's since retired. His son has taken over all of that, and it's time to let go of those things. But come on, and it'll be some good food, good time, I could tell you, sir. Oh, Cottonport? Yes. That's where I was born, actually. That was the only clinic at the time whenever I was born was there. And so that's, but anyway. Okay, I know that I'm have a devotional that we'll do, and then I'm going to introduce our guest speaker and get on with that, because it's 11 o'clock, and I know you want to eat that good jambalaya and salad and king cake that Kristen has prepared for us. This is from Monica Ramirez, and it says, I make all things new. I heard a loud voice shout from the throne, God's home is now with his people. He will live with them, and they will be his own. Yes, God will make his home among his people. That was a contemporary version of Revelation 21:3. He who sits on the throne said, I am making everything new. That's Revelation 21:5. A poignant scene from the movie The Passion of the Christ, directed by Mel Gibson, moves me deeply. Jesus meets his mother on the way to Golgotha and says to her, Mother, I make all things new. This is not a biblical quote, but we can picture Mary at a seemingly hopeless moment. We can imagine the looks mother and son exchanged, full of faith in the Father. Despite how impossible and incomprehensible his promise seemed to their human eyes. Many of us have lived through long periods of trial and tribulation. Sometimes in moments of despair, we've lost hope because of illness, isolation, natural disasters, wandering migrants, more people living in the streets, racism and division, to name a few. In recent months, 2 of my uncles passed away to the Father, and I have not been able to see my mother in more than a year. At times, it seems that there is no light at the end of the tunnel. But God made his home among us. He incarnated, suffered like us, and taught us that pain is not the end. He makes all things new. We can also make things new for his children, the needy and the weakest. We all can certainly do something. It takes only a generous heart willing to listen to the inspirations of the Holy Spirit that call us to love with action. This I have learned from my daughter. She and a handful of friends organized an initiative called Words of Healing that invites people through social media to send letters of encouragement and solidarity to patients here in San Jose who are isolated in the hospitals because of COVID-19. They organize and safely deliver letters and recordings made with love. It has been a blessing for the patients and has created a sense of solidarity among many people who write the letters. Soon we will relive the passion of Jesus, but we know the resurrection is coming. In our lives and our mission, we can also work on a resurrection to make things new for our neighbors. Let us begin by focusing on compassion, seeking to feel the need and the pain of others, and then let us use all of our strengths to make new the lives of many families lacking adequate housing. So for many immigrants who feel rejected or unwelcome, let's open a home for them. For so many affected by disasters who have lost their homes or livelihoods, let's offer new hope. And for so many who continue to suffer the discrimination and neglect, for the disenfranchised, let's be the hands and feet of Jesus. Let us build new hope. Let us build the new Jerusalem. So something for us to think about during Lent. We are supposed to be the hands and feet of Christ. Let's hope that we are working toward that. Okay, today we have Lynn Bryan with us. She has served as the executive director of Keep Bossier Beautiful for 2 years and is working to make Bossier Parish clean, green, and beautiful. She graduated magna cum laude from Centenary College and served as the lay director for Cross Bayou, Walk to Emmaus number 88, one of her most rewarding experiences. She lives in Benton with her husband, Ty Bryan, and enjoys spending time running and crafting with her granddaughters. So let us welcome Lynn Bryan.
Take this off. I'm really glad to be here. I've been in your church many times with friends, trainings for Emmaus. I've always had such a very warm welcome here, and it's always had a sweet spirit here. So I'm happy to be here today and tell you about the work of Keep Bossier Beautiful. And when Darlene said that my work with Emmaus was my most memorable experience, it was really just a pivotal point in my spiritual life, and I'm very grateful for the Emmaus family. I'm sure some of you here have been involved in that, and it's building on the shoulders of those that have gone before us, right? So we just pass it forward. So thank you guys for passing it forward and for allowing me to be a part of that. So today I want to tell you a little bit about this work called Keep Bossier Beautiful that I've been doing for about 6 years now. I was the volunteer president when we were just a group of do-gooders that were just doing 2 or 3 things a month. We met once a month, and we try to do, some of our favorite things. And then 2 years ago, under the direction of Sheriff Whittington, they created an executive director position, and I was fortunate to be hired for that position. So I'm real pleased to be able to provide full-time now the administration of this program we call Keep Bossier Beautiful. It's an old program. It was started more than 35 years ago, but it kind of had its up and down, and some of you might have known some of our previous leaders who've done a lot of great work here, and we're grateful for what they've done, and we're going to try and continue to grow that work and really change our community. We are very passionate about working in Bossier Parish. We really want to end littering, enhance recycling, and beautify our parish. And we believe, and I really believe that we can do that. I do believe we can do that. There are other states that have done that, other parishes that have done that. I believe that we can do that here too. And right now is a real valuable time for this work to be going on, because just recently, some of you guys might have read that the governor has started a new litter task force, and we have a representative from Bossier Parish. It's actually on that statewide team. The director for the Chamber of Commerce, Lisa Johnson, is on that task force, and it's bringing a lot of recognition to Bossier Parish. And so we're excited about the work that we're able to highlight that some of you, I'm sure, have probably participated in over a last period of time. So I want to start off by telling you a little bit about the state of the nation, where we're at. Has anybody seen any litter in Bossier Parish? Yes. So I have been challenged by one of our donors to identify the 10 trashiest places in our parish. And I'm not able to do it because I don't know 10 trashy places in our parish. But if you know some place that has trash that needs attention, please tell us, because we've got folks that are willing to do that. I want to welcome Scott Smith, one of our volunteers who is working to head up some pop-up cleanups that we're going to be doing in the future. But we really want to make a difference, and we've got a great team of volunteers that are helping us with that. And we work, of course, in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department, the city, and the police jury to accomplish this. They're our sponsors and our leaders for this work, so we're grateful to partner with them and others to help make this happen. But in 2020, Keep America Beautiful completed the largest landmark study that's been done to evaluate litter in our whole nation. And what they discovered is that we have 50 billion pieces of litter in America. 50 billion pieces of litter in America. 24 billion on our roadways and 26 billion in our waterways. And out of those 50 billion pieces of litter, 9 of 10 of those pieces of litter are 4 inches in size or smaller. So just think about that. Think about how easily that flows through our waterways, it gets caught in our trees. I mean, it rides on the backs of our trucks, and it is everywhere. So we have a big problem with litter in our nation. Although this research did show that from previous research, we are down as far as the amount of litter in our nation. So that's a really good thing. After they finished this program, they went on to discover in the last 2 years, we have introduced 207 million pieces of PPE into our community. 207 million pieces. That's a lot of PPE that is brand new litter, a different type of litter that's been introduced into our system. Well, I want to tell you about what we're doing to rid our parish of litter. I also want to give with you a little overview of what we accomplished last year, and I want to tell you what our other agencies in our community and parish are doing too. We've had great results from the city and the parish and the Sheriff's Department doing a lot of great work. We've had parish leaders, we've had the city council members in Plain Dealing do a great work, and I want to just give you a big overview of what's happening here, and then I want to have time for you guys to ask me any questions or share with me any areas that you know might be of need, and I want to tell you about some of the things that we're hopeful to do this year, and perhaps you might be interested and want to join us. So we started with some work last year with our biggest cleanup that we had, Operation Clean Sweep, and that was under the direction of Sheriff Winnington. We had 660 volunteers register for that work, and the way that we did it this last year was our first year for Keep Bossier Beautiful to be with Operation Clean Sweep. They've done that for a lot of years. But the way that we did it, because we were right in the midst of our pandemic, we said clean up where you're at, which is really the best way for us to do this. We didn't call everybody together to meet and say, I'm going to assign you to this school or this street or this neighborhood. We're going to say, go where you see trash at. It could be on your own street. It could be in your kid's school, wherever it is. Go, and then if you can, come and bring your trash. We're going to dispose of it for you. And we're going to provide hot dogs and hamburgers, and we're going to celebrate our success. So we did that last April. We're doing that again this April. Our biggest team last year, as far as churches, was the team from Stonewall Missionary Baptist Church. They had a great group of volunteers. I would love for First United Methodist Church to have a good group of volunteers this year. We're going to do it in April, and I'll tell you a little more about that. But we've worked real diligently with the city and their property standards department to rid the old Albertson Shopping Center, and I know this might have been a place that some of you shopped at before. I shopped there too. It had a group of homeless individuals who were living back behind there, and there was some illegal dumping that was going on back there. Okay, we're ready for next slide. And it was a mess, and it was brought to my attention by someone else, but when I discovered it, I thought, this is really sad. This is the center of our city, and we need to do something about that. How are we going to ever get any individuals to move in there and bring their products there to sell if it's a mess and if they're afraid? So we worked We worked with the city to clean up that area. You can see that bottom right picture is a house for some of the homeless folks that were living there. Okay, next. And it was a mess. So we worked to clean it up. And these next pictures are what it looked like last fall. It is still looking like that. It just needs a little bit more work. We've had some cleanups over there. We're ready. Next slide. We've had some cleanups over there. The back part still looks like this. It's very beautiful. But on the side lots, we're still doing a little bit work there, but we're excited and proud of that work. And really, the city of Bossier did the heavy lifting on that. Okay, next. Additionally, Keep Bossier Beautiful volunteers have started to install trash receptacles at our public bus stop benches. We've installed 10 so far. We got 10 more to install. You'd be surprised at how much litter is by those benches. I've seen it where there is right there by Melrose at the Sonic. I've seen it where they have a shopping cart that was left there, and the shopping cart had garbage in it because people were just looking for some place to put their garbage. So we're proud to be doing that. And we're going to be putting some labels on these trash cans, just a friendly reminder and nudge. Keep Bossier Beautiful. You know, it's a community-wide problem. It needs a community-wide solution. So we would just want to put those reminders out there. We'll be putting those up in the next coming weeks. This is a picture of our first cleanup with the city of Bossier, KBB's first cleanup with the city of Bossier. And we did this with the Mayor Chandler and the new Public Works Director, Wade Rich. And we did a cleanup on Interstate 20, the first time that we'd been on Interstate 20 cleaning up, because those of you who are not in that world, it is there are a lot of rules about being on the interstate, who can be there, who can't, and how many days notice, and signage, and crash cars, and all these things. So it's not an easy thing to do, but our first outing, we did just a small part of the inside lane, starting at Traffic Street, and we went to Airline Drive. And in that small part of the interstate, we picked up 19 tons of debris. Now, a lot of that was dirt and little trees and things like that that's growing along the inside. But we are committed. Mayor Chandler is committed to clean up our parish, and we're committed to make these interstates look better. And plus, we've had a renewed lease from DOTD, so they will be able to help us more, and we're real excited about that work. The city has also, you guys might have seen these guys around, but they have 3 or 4 individuals that pick up litter every day, just walk and pick up litter in our parish. Those guys have picked up over 22 tons of debris. And from individuals in our parish that bring debris to the drop-off station, they've collected and disposed of 912 tons of trash. That's a lot of trash, y'all. That's a lot of trash. So the city of Bossier is working hard to clean up our parish, as well as the Bossier Parish Police Jury. They filled over 1,300 requests last year to remove yard debris, appliances, debris from remodeling projects. They did a fabulous job. Now, they've cut back some on the things that they pick up, but they do still pick up a few things. But they've done a lot of work to clean up our parish, too. They've spent over $6,500 in landfill fees alone. And that's a lot of money to spend for just a place to throw your trash, right? And the Sheriff's Department, their crews are out, but they're not out as much as they have been because of the restrictions around coronavirus. There were about 8 months that all of the prisoners were sequestered, and you could really see a difference on our streets because the litter just piled up because there was nobody to get it. But they cleaned up over 700 miles of roadways last year in 2021, picking up 230,000 pounds of debris. So you can see what the parish is doing together as a whole to help clean up our community. This is a program that I'm super excited about. I'm real passionate about recycling, and we started last fall. We started working on it early in the year, but last fall we had our first delivery of cardboard going to the recycle center. And this photograph here is the results of some work that's going on with Bossier Parish Police Jury and the Bossier Sheriff's Department. We started the first recycle center and corrections in the state of Louisiana. So one little feather in our cap, something that we've started and that we're hopeful others will pick up on. But we installed the Bossier Parish Police Jury installed a cardboard baler at the Bossier Maximum Security Prison. Now they feed 1,500 inmates 3 meals a day. So that tells you a little bit about how much cardboard and metal they dispose of out there. So we installed the cardboard baler. We're working now to find the resources to buy a can crusher to take care of metal as well. And this is our first truckload of cardboard that was picked up last, I think in December, first part of December. And we carried over 15,000 pounds of cardboard to the recycle center. Now that's a lot of cardboard to take to the recycle center, but that's a lot of cardboard that's not in our landfill that can be used for those Amazon boxes that we all seem to be getting in our home. We also started a new program called Keep Bossier Beautiful Beautification Contest, and it's for businesses now, but we are hopeful to expand it to residents as well. Any of you guys in here gardeners? Any gardeners in here? I suspect there might be a few. I really want to ask you for your help with this project. We kicked this project off in the fall. We're in partnership with the Bossier Press Tribune, and the judges for our contest are the Northwest Louisiana Master Gardeners. Now, they wanted us to set up our contest instead of setting it up once a quarter, to set it up by season, which I still have to stop and think about it every time. So we are just finishing the winter season. So winter season was December, January, and February. So we're about to announce our winter season winner. And then we'll go into March, April, and May, and we will open it up again for another business that is taking care of the exterior of their building. And this is a picture of our winter, no, this is a picture of our fall winter, and that was Citizen National Bank, and they do a great job, and we're real grateful for them. But the thing that I really need help with, if you guys could help me, is that we need to get the word out about this program, because there's so many businesses that are doing great work at keeping the exterior of their building and their grounds and their parking lots clean and clear. So we want to reward them. We don't only want to pick up garbage. We want to reward those that are doing good work. But a lot of people don't know about it, so I need your help if you could help me get the word out. If you trade at a place, at a business that is doing a good job, just submit them. All you got to do is you can send a picture, put it on our Facebook page, or you can call me and I'll do it for you. We really just want to recognize individuals that are doing good work and give them a way for them to advertise to their businesses what they're doing. We also work with the City of Bossier. We're in partnership with them for the annual 9/11 ceremony. Has anybody ever been to that? Anybody here? Only one person? Oh, guys, it's such a meaningful ceremony, not because we're part of it, just because of what it's about. But on the City Metroplex complex, there's a garden called Liberty Garden, and you might have noticed it there. It's right by the police station, right in the very front doors that face Highway 80. And Liberty Garden was started back 19 years ago by the director of Keep Bossier Beautiful, and it was a way for us to bring a place here locally for individuals to mourn the loss of what happened on 9/11, and also to honor those that are working to do good in our community. Well, this last year we had our 20th anniversary, so we really wanted it to be very special. So we invited our leaders to come. We asked our leadership at Barksdale Air Force Base, Colonel Demetrison, if he could help us with a flyby. And this is a funny story. He said, "Oh, yes, we'll be happy to do that." Well, then I'm thinking, okay, well, that was easy. We just asked, and it's going to happen. Do you guys ever try to have schedule a flyby of a B-52? Anybody ever tackled that? It was my first time. I tell you, I hope it's my last time. About 2 weeks after that, because I'm thinking, okay, everything's going to be great, an airman called me, and he said, "Ma'am, I need you to fill out this form and this form and this form." and it's got to go to Washington, D.C. for approval, so you need to do it now because we're running out of time. And I said, but Colonel Demetrison said it was okay that he would do it. He said to me, ma'am, Colonel Demetrison doesn't know the day-to-day works of our mission here. And so, I mean, it was a lot of work, but boy, it was so meaningful. We had a great speaker that came and shared about being there on the grounds September the 11th when the Twin Towers were hit. A local from Monroe, a local trooper was actually there with his bomb-sniffing dog doing training, who was then deployed to do rescue and other things. And it's really just a sweet way to remember our past and honor those that are still doing that very dangerous work. Now, with that, we have in the Liberty Garden, we have the foundation of that garden is covered with engraved bricks. And it started out initially as a fundraiser for Keep Bossier Beautiful to help pay for the garden. And there's individuals in there. It was kind of set aside for people who are first responders, those who run into burning buildings and military people. But it has changed over the years. And last year we started what we call Everyday Hero, because we really became aware of our everyday heroes, those that are sacking our groceries, those that are taking our blood pressure, those that are keeping our kids even when there's a pandemic going. And so we sold bricks, and we do still sell bricks for permanent placement in this garden where you can remember a friend or a loved one. Or I have several out there. I have one for my wedding anniversary. I have one for my granddaughters. But it's just a way to honor people that you care about. So we had that initiative going last year, and we were very successful. And we helped over 65 families honor people that were meaningful to them. So we were glad to be able to offer that to them. And this is just a little bit about, these pictures are really probably too small to even be in this presentation, but Keep Bossier Beautiful takes care of our local gateways. And you guys probably know our gateways. There's one on 220, one on I-20, Benton Road, Highway 80 in there at the foot of the Jimmy Davis Bridge. And we are doing a lot of work now. We're trying to really spruce up our gateways, put some color there, and enhance them for some of the big folks that are coming for national events to come here to our parish. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes. And at the end of the year, Keep Bossier Beautiful was very grateful to receive from Keep Louisiana Beautiful, who heads over all the affiliates in our state, the President's Circle Award, and we got a nice $500 check for that, and it was presented by Lieutenant Billy Nungusser. And here's a few of our statistics from 2021. Now, we're really only 2 years into this, so don't think that this is little small stuff, because we're growing, but we're very grateful for everybody that contributed to this. But we collected almost 50,000 pounds of debris out of our communities, and we donated in-kind services of over $151,000 to our community through the volunteers that are working here. So a little bit about what's happening in 2022. We started the year out with a Arbor Day project. We've planted, last year for Arbor Day, we planted 35 bald cypress trees on Swan Lake Spur, right there by the fire station when you come in off Highway 80. This year we went back and we added 50 more trees. So in this small little curve there, going off of Highway 80 onto Swan Lake Road, we've planted 85 bald cypress trees there. And I'll tell you, we are so excited about the enhancement that that's going to make in 3 years to that community. That road, if you guys have traveled that very long, you might remember it was widened by the city. So they took out all the landscaping, 2 rows of houses on both sides of that highway to expand that. And there was no landscaping there. There's so many children that are still in that neighborhood that walk to school, no shade. So we are very excited to do that for our Arbor Day project. We think 85 trees within 3/4 of a mile is going to really set that neighborhood off to be beautiful for those who live there and for those who travel through that community. These are pictures of some of our volunteers. The day that we did this, y'all, and Scott can testify to this, it was so cold. I mean, I think it was in the 30s. The temperature was in the 30s, which wasn't so bad. but the wind never stopped. We were freezing. We planted 50 trees in less time than it took us to plant 35 trees the year before, because everybody was willing to hurry up and get out of there. But we had a great turnout with our scouts. We had a lot of local scouts that came because they were earning points toward different badges, and so we were pleased to have them with us. And here's a couple more pictures of our volunteers. So a little bit about a thing that we've got on our schedule now that we've wanted to do since the pandemic started, but we were unable to because we wanted to partner with this one company that is really the only ones that I would be even consider partnering with. But we are working with Capital City Corporate Recycling Center, Corporate Recycling Council, to recycle electronics. Now, what that means is that they will pick up our electronics that we collect here. They take them back to Baton Rouge. They're the only agency in the state of Louisiana that is certified to safely remove information off of devices. And I know that is a big deterrent for people throwing away things. I've got 2 laptops and 2 phones at home that need to go someplace else because they're just collecting dust right now. Perhaps you guys have something like that too. Mine will be in with this electronic waste. The e-waste is just a shortened for electronics. But we are going to be doing that in March, and we would invite you to bring your electronics and let us recycle them for you. This organization, they take these products and they wipe them clean, or either they shred the hard drives, one or the other, and then they build new items, new electronics from the parts and pieces that they collect, and they sell them to low-income families and to veterans. So it's a win-win all the way around. If you've ever tried to recycle something that you really felt like still had some good use, you just really didn't want to put in the landfill, I called a big electronics store here, I'm not going to mention their name, and said, I have this monitor. I said, it's a flat screen monitor. It still works well. I'm just upgrading. I just want to recycle it. They said, oh, yes, we'll be glad. We take your recyclables, and it's only $25 per item. And I said, oh, okay. So we're offering this to the citizens of Bossier Parish free of cost. We're going to be set up at the Viking Drive substation. If you guys know where that's at on Viking Drive, you just drive through. We'll have volunteers out there that will pick up your electronics, and then we lock them up until they get to Baton Rouge to make sure that there's no way that anybody's information could be stolen. So we're real excited about offering this free of cost to the residents of Bossier Parish. We do not take TVs. We won't take TVs. We don't take washing machines, things like that. There'll be a list on our Facebook page that tells what we want, and if you guys are interested, I could send something here for y'all to maybe post at the church. But it's basically computers, tablets, PlayStations, Wii's, those kind of small handheld type computers and phones. So this year we are celebrating again Love the Boot Week. Love the boot, don't pollute. That's our jingle. And if you at the control center back there, if you could look up this on YouTube, if you could just go to YouTube and type in Love the Boot, don't pollute. I'd love to show this video at the end of our presentation. But Keep Louisiana Beautiful is our state agency that oversees all of the affiliates in Louisiana. There's 40 Keep Whatever Beautiful affiliates in our state. All 40 of these affiliates will be doing something to clean up and enhance our state this week, April the 18th through the 24th. And we want to invite you to join us. We are super excited that Keep Louisiana Beautiful just moved from under the Division of Wildlife and Fisheries to tourism. And so being moved from under Wildlife and Fisheries over to tourism, we are now under the leadership of Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungusser. And you guys, if you follow Mardi Gras or parades, you know what all he's done for Louisiana with the biggest alligator float in the state of the Macy's Parade. And the history of the Macy's Parade was this year from Louisiana. So we're excited about being under his leadership now, because he's really very, very big on tourism, and he knows that one of the things that brings people here to our community is the cleanliness of our community. And we've actually had some people say, no, we're not bringing our business there because it's too trashy. And we're not very proud of that, but we are working to change that. So here's some of the things that we've got going on, and I'm going to be winding down and open this up for questions. But we will be doing our community litter assessment this Saturday. And we're excited that the Lieutenant Governor, who is here to kick off the Mardi Gras parade, is going to be coming and visiting our volunteers that are helping us with this. So if any of you are free Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, we're going to be doing our community litter assessments. And what that is, it is a mandated requirement for every Keep America Beautiful affiliate. Keep America Beautiful has over 700 affiliates in our nation. If you are a Keep America Beautiful affiliate, every year you have to survey your parish or your county to see the status of your parish, to see if your litter is growing or decreasing. And then we use that number to guide our work for the next year. We report it to Keep America Beautiful, but we use that as a guide of where we need to target in our parish. So we'll be doing that on Saturday morning. And then we have partnered, for the first time, we have partnered with Shreveport Green for a tree giveaway on March the 24th. And I don't have a lot of information about that just yet because it's just happened real quickly. But I do want to tell you guys that we will be giving away trees to residents that are interested in planting a tree in their yard or their neighbor's yard or wherever it might be. It's free of no cost. They're 7-gallon trees. They're very, very nice trees. And it is a way that we can incorporate more green into our parish and help fight air pollution and also provide beautification. And we'll have our e-waste event on March the 26th where we are collecting electronics. I've already mentioned that to you. And then Love the Boot Week is April the 18th through the 24th. We had a great turnout at our Arbor Day event of Scouts. And I was so impressed with those young men and women who came out because it was so cold. But they stayed there longer than the adults did. I was really moved by that. I told my husband, I said, we need to do something for our Scouts. They want to be in our community, and our community needs them. So we are creating a scouting event for Monday, April the 18th. That's the day the schools are out for Easter. And we're offering Scouts the opportunity to earn 1 or 2 badges that in areas that fall underneath the Keep Bossier Beautiful umbrella, things that impact litter, our environment, recycling, things like that. So if you guys are involved in scouting or you know of Scouts that might be interested in being a part of this group, please let me know. And I'll have my contact information up here because we'd love to get them in. Our first time out, we're going to keep our groups kind of small, so I want to be able to share that, just in person because we've actually had people from even Natchitoches wanting to come and be a part of this. But our homegrown group, we're going to honor them first and hopefully be able to work with them first before we open it up. But we're excited to offer that. And then Operation Clean Sweep is our big cleanup, a parish-wide cleanup that we're doing again this year. And we're going to do it the same way that we did last year. We're going to say, clean up where it's important to you. Get a group of volunteers, your Sunday school class, your mission group, perhaps this group might say, we want to be a group and we're going to clean up wherever it's important to you. Then bring your trash. We'll dispose of it. We'll have a nice meal at the substation, at the Viking Drive substation. If you can't come for the meal, that's fine. Just report your trash to me and I'll make sure that Keep America Beautiful knows that we care about our parish and that we want to make a difference. So we'd love to have First United Methodist Church with us as a team this year, or you can come as an individual, either way. And then we're also a part of the Community Foundation Give for Good. Are y'all familiar with that program? It comes out of the Community Foundation at Shreveport. We do have an opportunity for individuals to support our work financially through the Give for Good network. And we are hopeful to plan. We've got 2 big groups that are coming to the Brookshire's Grocery Arena this year. National groups. You guys probably already know about them. but there is the National Women's Volleyball event that's coming the week after May 21st. So we thought, boy, company's coming, right? What do we do when company comes? We want to clean up, and we want to put our best foot forward. We need to clean up all the time, but especially when company's coming. So we're going to try and do a cleanup that Saturday, May 21st, the week before that happens there at the Brookshires Arena, and then also the week before the National Balloon Rally. And if you guys haven't seen that, I mean, it was held there last year for the first time. It is so much fun, and it's so filled with color, and they're bringing their teams that are competing from all over the nation here, and they'll fly out of Bossier City. So it's pretty exciting, isn't it, Bossier, to be hosting events of national recognition. So we'll be doing a cleanup then. And the last thing that I want to tell you about, too, is something that we're really working hard to do. And I know that there's educators in this crowd here. But we really want to raise money for a mobile education classroom. In 2016, the state of Louisiana mandated that litter education be incorporated into our school curriculum. Well, my husband's a teacher, my daughter's a teacher. I would never, ever want to say we need to ask more of our teachers because they are spent. I mean, they have given and given and given. So what we want to do is we want to provide for our schools formal litter education in the form of a mobile trailer where the curriculum that we will provide will count toward the classroom curriculum that they get. We have a statistics standards-based program that we can offer kids where we would pull up in with a trailer in a parking lot. We set out tables and chairs and canopy. We rotate all the fifth graders through one day. We rotate the fourth graders through the next day. We offer them hands-on litter education, and we really believe that we know that we can pick up litter forever. You know, if you throw litter out, you know, somebody will let you pick it up for them. I mean, people, they don't care about you people picking up your litter. We know that we can do that forever, but we've got to change the mindset, and we've got to educate our younger generations, or we will be picking up litter forever. So we're real passionate about doing that. So if you guys know of a business or a foundation or an organization that might want to help us with that, we need just $25,000 to get this going in our parish. And I think that it will not be very long at all before that will be a great reward for us. So that kind of winds down the activities that we've got coming up. That's my contact information. If you think you might want to contact me, you can just Google Keep Bossier Beautiful, or you can ask my sweet friend Phyllis Carmack. Isn't she sweet? My sweet friend Phyllis, she could give you my number. And so what I'd like to do is, if you could play that YouTube video, were you able to get it? Okay, this is our annual event, and the slogan and the song that we have for this. Okay, thank you. So anybody have questions for me? I did want to tell you one other thing that I didn't have a slide about, but we do have a recycle program where we are engaging schools and businesses and churches to participate in recycling. Our first recycle school was Benton Middle School. My friend there, Kim Howell, who is the librarian there, has set up a fabulous program incorporating recycling in the school. Since then, she and I have talked to several schools. We've got about 3 or 4 schools that have now incorporated recycling into their school. We've got Asbury United Methodist Church has added recycling to their church, and we have some small portable recycle bins. You guys have probably seen them. They're about this big around that you can roll around, and I'm willing to offer you guys a couple of those if y'all like to start recycling here too. We've got businesses that are recycling with us, and what we're doing is we're just helping to get them started. We have a partnership with Renew Waste where they will provide free of cost a cardboard recycling dumpster initially to help people get started. So we're excited about recycling. We think that is key to keeping litter out of our landfills, but also we know the 3 R's really work: renew, reuse, and what's the third one? Recycle. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Got it there. Okay, so anybody have anything for me? Okay, well, I have some ink pens that I want to give you guys because I really hope that y'all don't forget. Scott, could you help me pass these out? I want y'all to remember at least a couple of things. I want you to remember. Could you help me with that? I want you to remember Love the Boot Week. And I want you to remember, if you have an interest in recycling, or if you know of a litter problem in our community, we want to address that. And I want to invite you to call me. If you would like, if this was of interest to you and you would like for me to speak to another group somewhere, I'm happy to come and share the work of Keep Bossier Beautiful, because I do believe that this is the Lord's work. I believe when he said he gave us dominion over the earth, that it meant that we had not only the opportunity to harvest the fruit of that land, but also to take care of it, the responsibility to take care of it. And I am very passionate about doing that. So thank you guys very much, and I appreciate y'all being so attentive. I think that's all.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Bryan. I think that was very interesting, and I'm really happy to know that Bossier City is doing something great. I have noticed the crews on I-20 cleaning up, and I was like, yes, because I always pass on that and think it looks terrible, and so with them cleaning it up, I really like that. So I'm glad y'all are doing that. All right, is there anything else from anyone? I guess they're ready for us. We are going to move to the fellowship hall to eat. The tables are set up there, and certainly Mr. Smith and Ms. Bryant, y'all are welcome to join us for jambalaya and king cake. So if we'll bow our heads in prayer at this time. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for this day, first of all, and for the privilege and the honor to be able to meet